to you know, the fight. Obviously, a week Saturday, 20th of October. And a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about sort of the pressure of, you know, obviously you're going in with opponents, you're knocking out opponents, so that you knocked out, you know, every opponent bar one. Do you find there's a pressure to go in and get that KO? Are people expecting you to KO your opponents?
They might be expecting it, but it's no pressure for me. The reason there's no pressure for me is because I'm doing my job. So I feel like, yes, it sounds cliche, but pressure makes diamonds. So again, that's what you've been seeing so far. You've been seeing good performances. You've been seeing me be defensively smart, not get hit, land the finishing shots to end the fight, and you know, be a good boxer. It's only elevated my game. So in terms of pressure, no, there's no pressure on me. The only pressure that people have is the pressure they put on themselves. So I'm just having fun. I'm going in the ring. Each time I go in the ring, I'm having fun, and I'm just demonstrating how hard I'm working.
Yeah, it's just something that you generally see a lot. I mean, if you take, you know, Anthony Yarde, for example, you know, when he fought Joseph Parker, it's kind of like, oh, you know, people just demanding, you know, that KO. I suppose, you know, you're in the routine, you've got the momentum of KO people. Yeah. But obviously, if, you know, you go through the rounds, I think in your last fight, you know, you looked a lot more patient. You weren't looking for that knockout, but you got the knockout with the work. Was that part of your strategy? Are you generally just trying to go through the process, go through what you're learning in training, rather than actually going out to get the KO?
And again, like, that's coming with progression, and that's coming with timing. People don't understand the importance of experience in boxing. You know, the same thing with football. When you get an inexperienced player coming in at 16 years old, he might be running all over the place, making the wrong runs. They do analysis after football matches. It's the same thing with boxing. When someone's inexperienced, even though I just turned 27 now, I started boxing when I was 19 years old. I had my first amateur fight just before I turned 20. So it was June. I forgot the year, but it was just before I turned 20. I think it was 2013. In 2012, actually. That's no experience in boxing, in boxing terms. Majority of fighters, if you look at all the world champions now, they all had over 100 amateur fights. Yeah. Over 100 amateur fights. I had 12. So again, for doing what I'm doing right now, I can only see the positive in it.
And in terms of that experience and almost, you know, putting it into practice under the lights, you know, if you take Callum Johnson's fight last week, obviously, you know, big step up for him. But he had his opponent down, and it was almost like, I don't want to say he froze, but there was an opportunity there to take out his opponents. Is that what you're talking about in terms of making those steps and gaining that experience?
Well, again, he's gained experience in that fight. I'm sure he will learn from that fight. And again, I give him his condolences. I'll give him his accolades. He went out there. I think he's the first person to drop Beterbiev. Again, he lost a decision, right?
No, he got knocked down. He then knocked down Beterbiev, and then Beterbiev knocked him out.
Okay, see. So I didn't even know how the fight ended, but I heard he made a good account of himself. I can only see positive from that. I'm not a person that you're going to see me talking bad about anyone, because boxing's a hard sport. People do talk bad about other boxers to boost their profile. I'm not into that game. You know, I feel like when you're at world level, you're fighting for world titles, you're fighting for pay-per-view, then it's time to start doing that, or to entertain, etc. Right now, I'm a respectful person. They're working hard, I'm working hard. And again, it's just one of them, you know, aggressive, friendly battles to the top.
And I want to ask you about, you know, the offer to actually fight Beterbiev. Yourself, obviously, you had that opportunity to take that fight. Not necessarily yourself turning it down, but your team decided that wasn't the right move. How do you feel about that? And when would you be looking to take that step up to the next level?
The way I see it is this year, I'm a very confident individual, and I do believe everything is timing. And when the time's right, I'm going to be world champion, and I'm going to stay world champion. And the reason I'm patient and I can agree with turning down certain opportunities, because I'm very confident in myself, and I know I'm going to get there. And when I do get there, it's going to be time for me to be there. So, again, with 12 amateur fights, in your 16th professional fight, or that would have been my 14th or 15th professional fight, 15th professional fight. For me to fight for a world title against Beterbiev, for me, wouldn't have made sense, you know, because I personally believe I would have beaten him. I think I have the beating of any light heavyweight in the world right now, but it's the fact of getting there and staying there, you know. When you're a world champion, your life changes. You know, you fight mandatories, you know, you do all these type of things, and then you start fighting once or twice a year. That's less experience I'm going to gain. I'll be fighting less. So again, it's a business as well as a sport. Once you are a world champion, I don't want to be fighting once a year or twice a year right now. So again, that's why it's a collective decision to take your time, keep building experience. So when you are at the top, you can stay there.
What sort of time frame would you expect to put on that? Is that something that you think about? And as you say, you know, at the top it is tough. You've got the likes of, you know, Adonis, Stephenson, you know, you see, obviously he fight a couple of years ago. Yeah. It's like Tony Bellew, you know, these guys are killers, you know, they're really quality
I'm
fighters.
a killer too.
Yeah, we know that. That's why we're looking for these fights, you know what I mean? So, in terms of the time frame, you know, when would you look to even, you know, get in the ring with someone like Adonis Stephenson?
I feel like everything's timing. Everything is timing. I don't put a time limit on anything. I think time limits are for stopwatches. If I said 2 years ago, how quick do you think it would take you to get where you're at now? I probably would have judged it wrong. So that's why I don't put times on anything. If you're a dedicated boxing fan, if you're a real supporter of me, follow the journey, and then you see how things plan out. And again, in the future, people are only the real boxing fans are going to go through your career, but then everybody 9 times out of 10 lives in the moment. So again, right now everyone's just seeing this picture. They didn't see when I was an amateur, when no one knew who I was, when you know, I only had like 11 amateur fights, 12 amateur fights. No one knew me then. They only see it now, and that now has come from hard work over these short space of years. So you don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Just to finish off, how do you mentally sort of deal with that and process that? Because, you know, obviously working within the boxing industry, you know, there's a lot of hype, a lot of buzz. You go to these weigh-ins, you go to the press conferences, it's the cameras, the lights, the glitter, but no one sees obviously the hard work and the grind that goes behind that. How do you, as an athlete and just as a person, just mentally kind of zone out from that focus? Because it's easy to get carried away into that life, and stay focused, get focused on your training, and obviously do the day-to-day things, right? How do you feel? What strategies you put in place to do that?
I just stay calm, work hard, be prepared, and try and have fun. You know, when you're enjoying what you're doing, it don't seem like a job. You know, you don't see the cameras and lights. Like, I enjoy doing this interview with you. I do need to train now.
Is that a hint? Is that a hint?
No. I'm saying I do need to train. Obviously, I'm not ever going to rush your interview. I appreciate your interviews. People like you, other media outlets that help boxers build their platform. So again, I've always got time to be given to interviews like you. You know, people that are doing what they're doing. You know, in your own field, you're doing your job. You're going home, doing your editing. You know, you're sitting there getting these questions together, doing your research on the boxers. Again, everyone has their field to play. And again, I commend people like you. You get what I'm saying? As though you might commend people like me, I commend people like you because you've chosen something. You probably enjoy doing what you're doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
You enjoy boxing. That's your interest. So you're doing it. You are more of a success than somebody that's unhappy earning £100,000 or £200,000 a year.
I am in.
Actually, it's true. I don't even know what you're earning. It's true.
I'm not in that.
I don't even know what you're earning. But you're more, in my eyes, you're more successful because you're doing something you enjoy. That's what I keep telling these young kids. Stop looking at money. Do something you enjoy, and money comes with that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, listen, Anthony Yarde, it's been great talking to you. I love the mentality. It's been great having you down. I've been down the gym today, so good man.
Lions in the camp.
That's it.
You know
good man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, bro.